Giant Rock in the California desert, close to the Yucca Valley. This past week there was a convention there, and a whole bunch of people showed up for that to speak and to attend. Among those speakers showing his film UFOs, The Best Evidence, was Paul Kimball. Paul is on the line with us from California. He's staying with Greg Bishop, post-conference. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Errol. How are things back in Canada?
Just as strange as they ever was.
Suckers. Oh, wait, I have to come home in a couple of days, so I probably shouldn't be making fun of you people up north, should I?
No, you shouldn't, because you do tend to come home to roost, which is, I guess, is appreciated by a lot of people, including our listeners.
Not in Halifax, it isn't. Every time I leave Halifax, there's a mob with pitchforks and flaming torches at the airport saying, "No, don't come back, Dr. Kimball-Stein."
Next time it won't be pitchforks, it'll be a steak.
Ah, well, as long as it's well done. Ba-dum-bum, hey, thank you. We're here twice on Sunday, folks.
The UFO Retro Conference is kind of almost a throwback to the old days of the contactees, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Giant Rock is where the original conferences for the contactees were taking place in the 1950s. And Greg can talk more about that. That's his area of expertise. There's a lot of UFO conferences out there. Some are good, some are bad, depending on the lineup of the speakers. But if you want to go to one that's just cool, not literally because it's quite hot out in Yucca Valley near Giant Rock, but if you want to go to one that's figuratively cool, Retro UFO was the one to go to. Not just because of the speakers, but because you get to go to the Integratron. Regardless of what you think of the contactees and the contactee movement, the Integratron and Giant Rock are a piece of not just ufological history. They're, I think, a very important piece of American cultural history. And so to go there, particularly for me, being a filmmaker and presenting a case on the 10 best UFO cases of all time, at the center of the contacteeism, I thought was somewhat ironic, but I get to show it in the Integratron, and whatever else you think of Van Tassel and Adamski and the contactees, the Integratron's a really, really nifty structure, and it's an awful lot of fun. So even if you couldn't make the Retro UFO conference this year, you should, if you're in southeastern California, in the desert near Mojave and Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree, find your way there and take a look. You can drive out to Giant Rock, too. The Integratron's fenced off. It's owned by private citizens. You can make arrangements to go in and visit, but you have to do that in advance. But Giant Rock, anybody can drive out to that. Indeed, they do. Dirt bikers go out there and dirt bike on the old runway that they used to fly people in on when they were holding the conferences or meetings back in the 1950s and 60s. And my background originally is history before anything else, music, law, film, all those other things I've done. I studied history. So to present the film right in a piece of still living, quite frankly, American history was a fascinating experience. And everybody else had been presenting up till that point out in a tent. And as soon as they set me up to do the film in the Integratron, all the speakers who came after me, Bishop, Redfern, Ken Thomas, they were all like, how come Kimball gets to speak in the Integratron and we have to go out in this tent? This is the sweaty, ugly tent, as Greg was just saying. So all the speakers after me spoke in the Integratron. So I was a bit of a trailblazer in the modern contactee